All right, so we come back from lunch one day, and when we come in the dorm, um, normally people go in their room, but I didn't. For some reason, I had went and done something else. One of my homies in the dorm name was Big Boy. Big Boy was from Atlanta. If I'm not mistaken, Big Boy might have been GD, but when I first came in the dorm and I was new, nobody helped me with nothing I had going on because then nobody know me. But over time, they realized I'm from Atlanta and I am who I am, and so folks started getting cool with me. Big Boy was from Atlanta. Big Boy was probably about 250, 6'2", young dude, right? Big Boy was only about 17. And he had this watch. We used to kick it. He had this gold watch that he never would wear. And I was in his room one day and I was playing with it and I was putting it on. I'm like, bro, why you don't wear your watch? He was like, I don't know. I was like, I can wear it? He was like, yeah, I don't care. Just don't let nothing happen to it. I'm like, bet. So it was like the old school nugget kind of watch, right? So I'm wearing the watch, I'm playing with it or whatever, I'm wearing it. And when I went to get back to Big Boy, he was just like, just hold on to it. You hold on to it. I was like, cool. I put the watch in my room in my drawer because I was going to, wear it some more later. Now back fast forward, we come back from lunch one day, and just out of nowhere, Big Boy in his room, Big Boy screamed. He screamed something like, "Oh hell no, man! I know y'all ain't trying me like this." And his drawer in every room, they had a bunk bed with a drawer like attached to it. It was sealed. It was welded on, but the drawer could come all the way out. Big Boy drawer came flying into the middle of the room, hit the door, boom! Everything that was in it went to crashing out. So he came out the room mad, like, who took my shit? Who got me? You know what I mean? Which one of y'all who done tried me like this? Everybody looking around confused because this one of the biggest. Big Boy might have been the biggest guy in the dorm. So it would be really crazy to steal from him knowingly. So, nigga don't know if Big Boy playing or if this a joke or not, but Big Boy, he looked dead serious. He talking about somebody that stole everything he got. Next thing you know, because I was in like a room two rooms up. Somebody else, the room beside Big Boy, they said they stuff got stole. I can't remember who it was. Man, I just so happened to go in my room and look. When I go in my room and look, my covers are snatched back, my drawer open, and only thing I had in the drawer was like the stuff they gave me, the little Bible, soap, toothpaste, and Big Boy watch. Watch gone. Man, I can't believe this. I don't know what's going on. So I come back out and I'm hoping everybody playing, but they ain't. Big Boy talking about his stuff gone. The next dude talking about his stuff gone. That's crazy. But nobody else stuff is gone. So apparently it's looking like what's happened is the first 4 rooms on the far side of the bottom range have been burglarized. And we don't know how this happened. We just went to lunch and everybody went. The officer was sure that everybody went, you know what I mean? So we don't know how this could have happened. And ain't nobody saying they saw nothing. Ain't nobody don't nobody know nothing, basically. After investigation, man, come to find out, the investigation took a couple hours. Come to find out, like again, we H2, we red shirt. Our building is one building, 2 dorms. So one side is H2, the other side is H1. H1, the buildings are attached, and like there's a door right in the middle, but it stayed locked at all time, but the officers have the keys to it. H1 is green shirts. So some kind of way, H1 done rigged the door, the door that will allow them to come through our dorm. some kind of way this door like never comes open or unlocked. It's like for emergency purposes. These niggas done came through it and burglarized the first 4 rooms. That's what we end up finding out after investigation. So it was a small team that did it. We know Lil Mon. It was Lil Mon. He a little thief, but he a crip from Macon. Now Lil Mon is like, he is a straight trouble starter, shit talker, trouble starter. He bad as hell, but he's only like, he's small with a big old, he's like a little kid built like a 10-year-old. You know what I mean? Small with a big head, little bitty arms. Stay in some shit. You know what I mean? Be the first one. You know, just this little bit of heavy, walking, mugging, and he'll fight. But you know, when he get to fighting and people trying to control him, he'll be fighting and doing all he can. But you could just grab his arm and just drag him wherever you trying to take him to while he fighting, and he can't resist it. You know what I mean? He just that small and weak. He really like a little kid. So it's Lil Mon, this light skinned nigga that I used to like. We used to like when we would go out on the yard, you know what I mean? Because on the yard, that's where everybody play basketball, play football, a lot of congregating. And, you know, on the yard, all the colors mixed in. You got, you know what I mean, red, green, blue, all the colors. So it'll be niggas from Decatur over here, niggas from over here doing this or whatever. So on the yard, excuse me, when we used to go in the yard, the little light skinned dude, he was from somewhere like from the country, like Athens or Augusta, but he was cool. We used to talk and we used to kick it, and he was a clown comedian. He was slim, he ain't do no working out, but he was just a cool little goofy type dude, right? But some kind of way he done agreed to go along with Lil Mon plan to come next door and rob us instead of, you know, robbing somebody in their own dorm. Man, we find out, I can't remember what the dude's name is, and we find out who it is, and it's bad because in juvenile there is no mercy. You know what I mean? There is no mercy, and he was my home. I ain't gonna say my homeboy, but I liked him and I used to kick it with him. But I also know that like it's a big deal. Everybody know that the first 4 rooms got stolen. You know what I mean? So to know that, and then to know who did it, you know what I mean? It's like something gotta happen. If something don't happen, then that's really a really bad look. So we done decided it's going down. We done decided, you know what I mean? We gonna whoop that ass. We gonna whoop all their ass. Now, what ends up happening is some of the big homies from Macon, they step in for Lil Mon. Juvenile just is like ran damn near like the mafia. You know what I mean? They stepped in for Lil Mon and they decided that they was gonna punish him themselves. You know what I mean? They ain't want nobody to put their hands on him, probably because he would get hurt real bad. And you know, that was understandable because we were going, you know, there's no mercy. So he was gonna get it full throttle. But the other nigga, you know, we done decided we gonna beat his ass. And I like the little dude. Man, we sitting out. I mean, and every day we eat the same. It start with like E1 and E2, and then it'll go E1, E2, then it'll go H1 and H2. So, I mean, it'll go E1, E2, and it'll go H2, H1. So we would go out first because we were closer to the chow hall. We go eat, we come back, and I'm kind of anxious because I know that this is one of the times in the day that, you know, we get to pass them, because once we, you know, in order to make the feeding process faster, once the officers see red shirt hit the sidewalk to go back down to their dorm, they put their green shirt on the sidewalk to be going into the chow hall at the same time. So we pass each other. Man, we walking down, and soon as like we stopped where we supposed to stop at, and green shirts had kept going by, and he was coming by. He had his head down, but he was looking at everybody. And when he came up, Big Boy was like behind me. Big Boy was standing behind me, and he both knew, you know, Big Boy knew what I was gonna do. So when he walked up, I ain't get off on him off the muscle, and I don't know why. I can't remember what the hesitation was, because everything was right. Everything was perfect. He was coming our way. It was perfect opportunity. And I don't know if I hesitated or Big Boy just jumped the gun. But from behind me, Big Boy said, "Bitch, that was my watch." And he just flinched at the dude. And when he flinched at the dude flinched to cover up his face, but it put him like directly in my path. I'm talking about a clean open shot. Man, I'm talking about I gave it everything I got. I hit him right square in the nose. Bam! On the sidewalk. He fell on the sidewalk. Crazy thing is, I never hit him again. He fell on the sidewalk. And he was down holding his face. I looked at my hand. My hand had blood all over it. I had blood all over my knuckles. One punch. So, with like Big Boy jumped back in line behind me, I just stayed in line, and we kept looking straight. So he laying on the ground. Officers ran out his officers from his dorm ran out. They grabbed him up, never asked who done it. They ran, grabbed him up, picked him up, and they went to ushering him to medical because his nose something was bleeding. He was holding his face and something was bleeding, right? So they rushing him up to medical. They made both dorms stay right there where we was on the sidewalk till Lieutenant Bueller came down. Lieutenant Bueller came down, and he gave a little speech right there on the sidewalk. And now you gotta imagine, I just knocked the nigga ass clean out. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about 0.2 seconds and got away with it. So we standing here in line, but I got this feeling in me, you know what I mean? Because everybody just saw this shit. So Lieutenant Bueller came between the dorms. He was like, "Now look, I'm gonna tell y'all this shit one time only." He like, "I know," he said, "they told me earlier today, y'all had your shit stole. I know, y'all got it back and everything is everything." He said, "Now y'all done sent one to the medical and it's over with." He said, "I don't want to hear nothing else about this. I don't care who did it. I don't want to know who did it." He said, "It's over with. Y'all got y'all shit back. Y'all done sent one to medical." He said, "I don't want to hear nothing else about this situation. Is that understood?" Both dorms holler, "Sir, yes, sir." He walked off. Everybody was good. So that was when I decided, even in juvenile, that's when they decided, you know what I mean? I was bit dog, you know what I mean? I had done sent one to medical, because even when I hit him, I was getting ready to get on him, but it wasn't no use. Plus, if I'd have jumped on him and wailed on him like that, then I'd have went straight to the hole. What I forgot was, after old boy came back from medical, man, it was like, he was like a trophy for me, because I never had seen this, but when he come back from medical, he had 2 black eyes. And that really, really confused me, because I know for a fact I caught his nose. His nose started bleeding and everything. So I know I caught his nose, but when he came back, both of his eyes were like swole shut, and I could not, I'm talking about both of them, and they were turning black. And then he had to walk around for about like a week and a half with black eyes. If you know how black eyes are, they start real black, and then they just start like, the color start coming back slowly day by day. So, and it's like a raccoon look. So, him walking around the campus like that for a week, knowing that I done that to him, I'm gonna be honest, that was a big win for me. But I had forgot about that part. I had forgot to tell y'all how he looked. All right, I'll see y'all later. So Yeah, man, that's when they decided, you know what I mean? That's when I was official, you know what I mean, in juvenile. I wasn't no scrub no more. I appreciate y'all for tapping in, going on this life is hell, juvenile was hell journey with me. Like, share, subscribe, hit the cash out. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one.